Step on up, sit down, twist off that bottle top or crack open that can, and welcome to Porch Matters. This is Terry Cagle coming to you from my back porch. Yes sir, yes ma'am, the name of this show is authentic. On Porch Matters, our saying is this: big issues or just a friendly conversation. No topic is off limits. We take pride in being able to talk about anything with each other in an open discussion. Open discussion is one of the only ways to learn. Your perspective could be changed. You could change the perspective of others. Friends and family, welcome back to another episode of Porch Matters. I'm glad you're here. This isn't necessarily an episode. This is a bonus episode. This is just me and you sitting here on the porch. I just enjoyed a nice, beautiful sunset here in Dilworth. And I've really been sitting here enjoying this week. Guys, y'all just don't know how much that I have needed this week off. On the company that I work for, we shut down 1 week during 4th of July, and then we shut down another week between Christmas and New Year's. We haul automotive parts to Honda and to Nissan, to Volkswagen, some Mercedes, and most of those places always shut down, so that's what we do too. During the 4th of July shutdown, if y'all remember, that was whenever I took the big road trip with the Golden Girls, where we went up through Memphis and went up to Kansas City, from Kansas City on up through Nebraska and Iowa, up to South Dakota, back across to Minneapolis, back down through Green Bay, Milwaukee, Chicago, and on back down here. That was a very long drive, but it was wonderful. And that's the way I like to vacation now. Don't get me wrong, I love going to the beach and all this other stuff, but my dream vacation is to literally drive like Forrest Gump ran. If y'all remember that movie. Did I just date myself? I probably did. But, he just picked a direction and just started running. When he got tired, he slept. When he got hungry, he ate. And all that good stuff. He just kept going. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to go and buy 2 brand new Tahoes probably. And I'm going to handpick some friends to go with me. We're going to flip a quarter a few times. First flip's going to be for north and south. The next flip is going to be for east and west. And then the next flip is going to determine the winner between the winners of north and south and east and west. That's the direction we're going to start. And we're just going to drive. Whenever we come across something that we want to see, we're going to stop and check it out. When we come across a restaurant that looks really good, we're going to stop and eat. Whenever we get tired of driving that day, we're going to stop. If we go into a town that we would really like to check out and see everything that there is to check out, we might just put up a residency for about a week. No timetable. It's on the whole trip. But I would really like to do that. One of my bucket lists is to see every state in the country. That was part of the reason why I got into truck driving. But once you get into truck driving, you also learn that you don't really get to see a lot from the interstate. And most of the time, whenever you're driving, you make better time at night. And it's really hard to see stuff at night. I want to do it in a car or an SUV. I want to be able to take my time. I would love to be able to see what all this great country has. This week, I've just been trying my best to just sit back and enjoy the peace and quiet. This week has been great for me because I don't know if I've articulated it just right over the last few months. Guys, I've been fighting burnout like crazy. Work's been going great. We've been adding drivers left and right. With more work comes more stress. And it's all stuff that I've asked for. I'm not complaining at all. I'm feeling very blessed to be where I'm at and to be in the position that I'm at. But I've been warned by at least 2 people that I work with, if I didn't slow down, that I was going to burn myself out. Well, I did. I burnt myself out. And this week, or the week before rather, I crossed all my T's and dotted my I's as best I could. Tried to get everything set up to where on the 23rd, right before Christmas, I could cut that cell phone off and just let it go. I even put out a snap with me yelling freedom like William Wallace in Braveheart. Sure did. It was stupid, but I did it. That was just the way I was feeling at the time. We went and had Christmas. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. I was able to spend time with my cousin Wendy and her husband Kevin and my second cousins on Christmas morning, and then was able to go up to Stacy's house and spend time with her best friend and her husband, and then her cousin and his wife. Had a really good time. Played Phase 10 for several hours and then came on home. She is currently down in Orlando at Disney World with her family. Whenever I feel real burnout, whenever I need a break, there's not but one place that I want to go. I don't know what it is about that place. I don't know if it's the Mississippi River. I don't know if it's the Fantastic Barbecue. I don't know if it's Bill Street, even though I don't really party anymore. I'm getting too old for that crap. Or if it's just the people. It's mainly the people. But my home away from home is Memphis, Tennessee. Has been for years. The very first time that I went up there was around 2012, I would say. It was one of me and my mom's first road trips. She was real big on watching Food Network, and there was a TV show on there at the time done by the Neelys. Anybody from Memphis ought to know who I'm talking about. They had a restaurant up there, and Mom really wanted to go up there and eat at their restaurant and see what all it was about and try their food. So that's what we done. We drove up, went to the Neelys restaurant, enjoyed it, and then we went over to the Pyramid, which was the Bass Pro Shops. I think we went up there on their grand opening. I'm not real sure. I might be combining 2 different trips. But I do know for a fact that as soon as I went up there, I fell in love with that town at first sight. So it was the very first time I had ever seen the Mississippi River. Something about me and water. I'm just drawn to water a lot of times. Whether it's a stream, whether it's just a large creek, small river, whether it be a big river, lake, or ocean. If there's water around, that's where I want to be. It's kind of funny, though. I'm not really a big fisherman either. I just like sitting and watching the water go by. I can sit there for hours. My favorite place in Memphis is the Riverwalk. I think they got it all tore to pieces right now, doing some kind of construction. But whenever I first started going up there, it was like a little park. Had walking paths and, different stuff like that. Benches all around where you could just sit there and watch the water go by. And that's what I would do. I could sit there for 2 or 3 hours, not doing anything but watching the tugboats go by or just watching the water go by, looking up at the big bridge, watching cars go over into Arkansas, wondering where they're going, where they've been. It was just very peaceful for me. That is still my favorite place to go up there. I hope they fix it back sort of the way it was, if not better. If they don't, I'm going to be mad. I'd hate to have to hang out at the rest area right there just to be able to see my view. I really love that town. And around, I would say, 2015, I was flipping through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and came across Chive Charities. If you don't know what that is, at one point in time, it was like a nationwide deal where people would get together. They used to call it partying with a purpose. They would make a deal with certain venues, different bars, whatever. They would usually charge a cover charge to get in, work out some kind of a deal with the place to be able to get money off of the food and bar sales, and they would donate it to either somebody or some people who were in need, animal shelters, if they were taking up donations for dog food or cat food. We've done that a time or two. Different things like that. It was all for charity of some sort. Well, whenever I got introduced to the Chive, I went on and just started joining different Facebook groups and everything. And one of them that I joined was a group called Chive on Memphis in the Mid-South. It was the group based out of Memphis. Well, a few months go by, and I'm watching how everybody interacts with one another and how tight-knit of a group it was. And they had a little get-together up at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and I just wanted to put faces to the names that I see on my screen all the time. I really wanted to meet who I was talking to. From the time that I walked in, it was like the whole group just basically just wrapped their arms around me and claimed me as their own, and I'll never forget that. It was really nice. They didn't know me from Adam's House Cat, but because I was there with them, they just accepted me as family. After that, I started driving up there once or twice a month, anytime that I was able to and could afford to go up. It was almost like I was working to pay my bills and my Memphis addiction. There was a couple of different instances just right off the top of my head where I was very close to moving up there. And just for the record, that's still a possibility. That's how much I love the people up there. Anytime that I have ever felt overwhelmed or just felt like I needed to get away, Memphis is my home away from home. I was able to go up there Monday. I want to say it was Monday night as I sit here and record this. I took my mom and her best friend Virginia up there. We went and ate at my favorite barbecue place to eat at, which is the Memphis Barbecue Company. If you're ever around Memphis and get a chance, it's right there off of 55, off the Horn Lake exit for, I want to say it's 302 in South Haven, Mississippi. South Haven is a suburb of Memphis. It and Olive Branch. Some of the best barbecue you'll ever put in your mouth. And I was able to stock up on some barbecue sauce. Yes, I do that. I love barbecue sauce. And as I say about that particular sauce, that barbecue sauce would make a turd taste good. I just say that. Never tried a turd, don't plan on it. But that's just a saying that I always say. So I got me 2 or 3 bottles of it and rode down by the Riverwalk, which there again, as I just said, they've got construction going on down there. I really hope they don't mess my place up. And then I was able to go to a couple of different places and see some of my friends, and that meant the world to me. If you're listening to this, I really appreciate y'all coming out and taking a little bit of time away from everything that y'all had going on to meet me and give me a hug and shoot the bull with me for a few minutes. We were coming back, and I told my mother, because we went on a trip to Gatlinburg and everything for Thanksgiving. It was a getaway trip as well, but we talked about that, and it was just basically to go just to go. I didn't get near out of that trip as I did going up to Memphis. I'll just say it that way. Right now, I feel recharged. I feel refreshed. I'm ready to look 2022 in the eye and make it my year. I hope that everybody had a fantastic Christmas. I hope that you've been able to sit back and enjoy being around your family. I really hope that everybody has been able to take this time and look over their year and, look back a little bit and reflect. I know for this year, for this show in particular, it's been interesting. Earlier this time last year, we still had Jason and Melissa with us. They're no longer a part of this show because, Melissa took another job and was on a totally different time schedule. She wasn't able to record with us, but, and Jason had his personal issues that he had to leave the show too. And I just want y'all both to know, if y'all are listening, that without y'all, this show wouldn't have been possible. I wouldn't have been able to do this on my own, getting it started. So for that, I will be forever grateful to both of you. And I love both of you too. After both of them had to leave, I had to take a step back and punt. And I think that this show has been doing really well. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back by any means. I'm patting you on the back, because without you, there's no sense in me sitting here talking to myself in front of into this microphone, because nobody's listening but me. You as a listener, you do not realize how much I appreciate you downloading the show, listening to the show on your way to work, on your way home, at the gym, wherever it is that you listen. I bust my butt to make sure to try and find people to come on to the show that I think are interesting and that has interesting things to pass on to you. 2022 is looking great. I am going to continue to bust my butt to find people that I find interesting and that you find interesting, to be able to put out more content for you. I've got big plans for this show. I'm not done by a long shot. As long as you still want to listen to me, I'm still going to be right here on this porch. That I promise you. I just really wanted to be able to take this time, just me and you, and just have a small conversation with you who are listening to this, and just tell you a little bit about my week and what's going on with me, and be able to tell you that bigger and better things are coming for this show. Stick with me. Tell your friends about it. Share it with people on social media. Y'all probably get sick and tired of seeing all of my posts, but this is something that I'm extremely passionate about. This is a passion project of mine. I want it to be just as much your passion as it is mine, not just something to listen to. I really would like to hear feedback from y'all as far as what y'all like to hear, what you don't like to hear, who or what you would like to hear me talk about, what types of subjects would you like for me to find people to talk about to. Let me know. Send me messages. I will gladly read them and respond to them. Just a few weeks ago, I ordered some shirts. If you're interested in a shirt, reach out and send me a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whichever platform it is you are on social media. Reach out and let me know if you want a shirt or not. As I said in the last episode, if the demand is high enough, I will get some more. If I don't have one in your size, I'll make sure to order some. If you regularly listen to this show, I want you to have something from it. On this first batch, I'm putting the money out of it. I'm not selling anything. It's my way of saying thank you for listening and believing in me. Maybe later on, I'll set up a store and let people buy them. But right now, this is me saying thank you. So if you're interested in a shirt, let me know. Fixing to shut this down, but this is me just saying thank you for sticking with me. Thank you to those who are new. I hope you stick around as well. we're going to be in for a good 2022, I believe. The show is definitely still growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm very thankful for that. In between now and until you hear from me again this Sunday, thank you, and I love you. And I will see you next time right here on Porch Matters.